Welcome back. You're with us on the newsroom. A parliamentary standing committee has come out and recommended that celebrities henceforth be liable for the claims made by the producers of the products that they endorse. The committee recommends that there be a fine of up to 50 lakh rupees and imprisonment up to 5 years if a celebrity endorses a product that fails to live up to the promises that were made. Now, recently, Mahendra Singh Dhoni had to come out and speak to consumers who were rattled because a builder who'd been endorsed by Dhoni had failed to live up to the promises he'd been making. Dhoni asked the builder to fulfill these promises soon so that consumers wouldn't be upset. But the question is, just asking the builder may no longer be enough, because if what the Parliamentary Standing Committee is recommending is implemented, then people like Dhoni could end up in jail.
India's Captain Cool is now on a sticky wicket for being real estate group Amrapali's brand ambassador. Residents of Amrapali's Sapphire project in Noida are hitting out at MS Dhoni for incomplete work at the residential complex. Angry residents lashed out at Dhoni on Twitter, asking him to disassociate himself from the Amrapali group or force the builder to ensure completion of pending work. The anger of the residents forced the Indian captain to clarify.
We'll see what can be done. We'll get in touch with the Amrapali people and see what exactly is happening.
The first phase of Sapphire, which was launched in 2009, has been completed and about 800 families have moved in out of 1,000 flats. But residents claim that civil and electrical work in many towers is still incomplete. They complained that their demand was not addressed by the management. Meanwhile, the Amrapali group claimed that the issue was nothing and things have been blown out of proportion. And though there are certain drawbacks, it hardly comprised 4 to 5% of the total project and will be completed in the next 90 days. Dhoni is the latest celebrity to be under attack for brand association. Amitabh Bachchan and Madhuri Dixit had both faced flack and legal notices for endorsing Nestlé's Maggi. Things, however, might get tougher for celebrity brand ambassadors. Parliamentary Committee on Food, Consumer Affairs and Public Distribution has recommended amends to Consumer Protection Act. This is to ensure that stringent provisions to tackle misleading advertisements and fixing liability on celebrities. Under the proposed guidelines, the brand ambassadors have to verify before promoting a product, otherwise they could face legal action if the claims turn out to be false or misleading. They could also face a jail term of 5 years and a fine of rupees 50 lakh. If the recommendations are accepted by the centre, celebrities will have to be much more careful about what they endorse.
We have our homes at Amrapali because Amrapali is the best.
Bureau Report, India Today.
आपका घर बनाते हैं Amrapali Group, developing India.
Should a celebrity have to spend up to 5 years in jail and pay up to 50 lakh rupees fine if he ends up endorsing a product where the manufacturers of that product are not able to live up to the promises they made? Joining us on the Newsroom showdown tonight, Dilip Cherian, leading image consultant, also with us, food policy analyst Devinder Sharma. I want to go across first and foremost to Dilip Cherian, because if the Parliamentary Standing Committee has its way, then very soon celebs could end up paying 50 lakh rupees in fine if they make a promise that the manufacturer cannot live up to. And a lot of consumers watching this broadcast will say, Dilip, that is the right way to go. Why should celebs get away by making tall promises that are not kept?
We need to protect the consumer, and we definitely need to have celebrities be careful about what they endorse. The problem I have is in expecting them to understand the nuances of a product. This requires a celebrity to be a mixture between a food technologist, a chemical engineer, probably a dermatologist, and definitely also a lawyer. It's impossible. What you're using celebrities for has got nothing to do with their understanding of the product.
You're saying that the celebrity is only a prop and the consumers are by and large aware of it, and therefore, as in the case of Amrapali builders where MS Dhoni had to come out and make a clarification because He was being trolled on social media. The builder didn't live up to the promises that had been made. The flats weren't like the flats that had been promised. A lot of people would say, Devendra Sharma, that many consumers would opt for a particular builder or would opt for a particular product because they see someone like a Deepika Padukone, a Katrina Kaif, an MS Dhoni endorse it. If these celebrities hadn't been endorsing these products, maybe the consumer wouldn't have felt the same kind of confidence.
Well, I completely agree with you, Rahul, because because of this endorsement from celebrities, people are swayed to go for that product, or as you rightly mentioned in the Dhoni's particular case. But the fact of the matter is, we are living in an age when the consumers are looking for what is called responsible advertising. So I would look forward to any celebrity who has or who should look into what he is advertising. It can't be just because he doesn't know, he can't get away with murder.
There are so many builders out there in the market. A consumer can say, because the captain of the Indian cricket team endorsed a particular builder, I felt that this builder will live up to the promises that Dhoni made. Because I don't know the owners, I don't know the management, I know Dhoni. I think that Dhoni is endorsing this product, this must be a good product for me because I trust Dhoni. So when that builder doesn't live up to the promise, fans will naturally also feel let down by Dhoni. Dilip?
I think that, as somebody who sits in on the Advertising Standards Council, I can tell you that the real responsibility lies with the corporation that is putting the ad out. That's one. The second thing is that as a nation, we are always attempting to shoot the messenger. And the third thing is that MS Dhoni has no capability of understanding what is the delivery schedule of builder A versus builder B. I think that it is right what Devendra is saying, that they work only for money.
Mahinder Singh Dhoni is getting these consumers to put up 1 crore, 1.5 crores,
but
2
the
crores,
point is
which
that
is essentially the savings of a middle class household.
But how has MS Dhoni got the wherewithal to understand whether the builder is going to be able to live up to the promise of either the quality of material used or the schedule of delivery?
Okay.
We live in a country where the FSSAI is not able to figure out whether there is lead in noodles or not. So that is a government run organization whose only job is to understand and analyze products.
You've made two good points. I want Devendra Sharma to respond to them. Your first point is, how can a particular cricketer know whether a builder will live up to the promise? Take, for example, what happened in the NCR region, the capital region, where you had the National Green Tribunal suddenly hold up construction on multiple buildings. Now, any celebrity can say, we didn't know that the NGT would hold up construction, which would be delayed then by several years, and therefore it's completely wrong to blame the cricketer or the captain of the Indian team, because a decision taken by the National Green Tribunal is not something that Dhoni or someone else can be responsible for. Devendra Sharma.
See, the question that Dhoni doesn't know whether the builder is going to live up to his expectation and so on, I think is a classical case. Then why should Dhoni endorse that product? What business has he got to endorse a product when he doesn't know that it's going to live up to the expectation or not?
The other point that Dilip makes is very important. Very recently in India, we saw the Food Standards Authority of India, the FSSAI, come up with multiple versions on whether or not Maggi had lead and MSG in it. Now, if an organization that has been certified to look at these products cannot determine conclusively whether or not there's lead and MSG, how can you expect any celebrity to do due diligence? What kind of diligence can be expected from him, Devendra?
Let me say first take 2 points from you, what you are saying. First is, when you say that, this, in particular case, only the chairman or the company's MD knows. I remember some years back, Khaitan fans, their MD or chairman used to come on the show and say, he's endorsing it and he's responsible for what he's selling. Now, why can't chairmen come up and say, or the head of the organization come up and say, this is my product and I am responsible for it? Why should a celebrity come and endorse it and then walk away saying, oh, I didn't know about it, whether it was bad or good? That's one. Secondly, in the case of Maggi noodles, I think what is more important is when the Maggi controversy erupted, I still recall Madhuri Dixit saying that, she didn't know about it, whether there's lead content or not, she's not capable of knowing it. I think she has all the money in the world to appoint somebody to find out whether it's good or bad.
Dilip Cherian, is Devendra Sharma being unreasonable? Because otherwise what you'd have is, you'd have a situation where the MDH owner comes out and says, the Khaitan owner comes out and says that, please buy my product. That's the only person who will be coming out, and all the Katrina Kaifs and the Deepika Padukons of the world will be out of business if it was Devinder is saying
So
is
what?
agreed to.
If the parliamentary committee's objective is to choke off supply of endorsement income to celebrities, I have no issue with it. I think that what we are really talking about is a much more substantive issue. We are living in a country where we always want to put the blame on somebody who is a celebrity and then pillory them. It works on social media, it works on all these kinds of trolling kind of superstructures, and we are increasingly beginning to be a country which actually is cutting off its structures and linkages from what the world does.
You've heard both points of view. I think the final solution lies somewhere in the middle. Celebrities can't wash their hands off. There must be some basic level of due diligence that a celebrity must do before choosing to endorse a certain product. He can't wash his hands off and say, I just got the money and I endorse this product. Any responsible celebrity has a responsibility to his fans and not letting them down, and therefore a certain amount of due diligence must be done. But then later, if Maggie, for example, is found to have led in it, you can't blame the celebrity, because that's something that wasn't caught out for many years, and therefore that's when the government regulator must come in. Action must be taken, if at all, against the manufacturer and not against the celebrity. Dilip Cherian, Devinder Sharma, for joining me on the Newsroom Showdown tonight. Thank you very much.
Now, Munir is still to be arrested. He is the prime suspect in this case. He's also related to the NIA DSP, is what UP police sources are telling India Today. We will continue to track that story. But moving on, one of India's most famous women bikers, Veenu Paliwal, she's passed away in a road accident. Now, Paliwal died in a motorcycle accident in Madhya Pradesh's Vidisha district.